My favorites for New Year's Day: crawfish and corn beignets, fried broccoli cheese balls, croquettes with Serrano ham and cheese, and Cajun shrimp corn chowder. So give these a try, you won't be disappointed. Happy New Year's, everyone! See you next year! Today I'm making crawfish and corn beignets to go with the flounder dish that I'm making. So let's get started on Darlene's table. Alright, to the 3 cups of flour I'm adding the Creole seasoning and dried thyme, as well as a tablespoon of baking powder. We're going to mix the dry ingredients well, and then I'm going to add the milk. So I'll stir this up. So to the flour mixture, I'm going to add some Tabasco. Do it to your taste. It calls for about a teaspoon. Minced garlic, fresh minced garlic. Then parsley and green onion. Now I'm going to blend this well, and then we'll add the corn and the crawfish tail. These turned out so well. I was so happy with them. I think you would be too. So I'm using the shoe peg corn, a can of the crisp shoe peg corn. Now this is a pound of rough chopped crawfish tails. Once this is all mixed, we are ready to fry these beauties. So I'm dropping them by rounded tablespoons. Aren't those pretty? And they really tasted so good. You could put additional Cajun seasoning if you like. I would probably go with cayenne. Look at these. Everyone loved them. Oh, this made a lot. This is like 36. They're large, very large, and they're very good. I've already tried one, of course, so there's 35. Do try it and enjoy. Crawfish and corn beignets. This recipe made a lot of beignets, and that's a good thing, especially if you're having a party or a get-together. But if I were to cook just for 2 or 3 people, I think I'd cut this recipe in half. I did some testing on the best method for warming these things up, and I found that the air fryer works perfectly. Just set your air fryer to 400 for about 5 or 6 minutes, and they crisp right up. So if you don't have an air fryer, pop them in a skillet or in the oven for a few minutes. But I definitely do not recommend the microwave. They just turn them to rubber in a microwave. These were so tasty with the sweetness of the crawfish and corn and with the Creole seasoning. Now listen to this. I made a roulade-type dipping sauce which paired well with the beignets. I included that in the recipe. So go to darlenestable.com and find the recipe with all the ingredients so you can make this yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please give us a like and consider subscribing. That way you can keep up with what's going on right here on Darlene's Table. Today we're going to make broccoli cheese balls. A great little appetizer, easy to make. So let me show you how to make this so you can make it for your family. We're going to start out with finely chopped broccoli. 1 egg, panko, and of course all the measurements are included in the recipe. A little red pepper flakes. We're going to mix this up. And then we have 3 different cheeses. A cup of Colby, a cup of cheddar. I like the white cheddar. And 4 ounces of little cubes of processed Velveeta. Mix this up really well. All right, I think that's mixed well enough. I'm gonna make this into small balls. It should make about 12. Squeeze them together. We're gonna chill this for about 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and bread them and fry them. All right, now that makes 12. We're going to put these in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. I'll come back and bread them, and then we'll fry them. All right, the broccoli cheese balls have been chilled for 30 minutes. Now we're going to bread them. A little flour into the egg. We want it completely coated. No areas left uncoated. And then into the panko. We'll go back and forth with this. Well, the cheese balls are all breaded. Now you could fry them now, or these could be made the day ahead and refrigerated. The next day, take them out for about 30 minutes and then fry them. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them in this container and fry them tomorrow. So this is a great make ahead appetizer. There we go. I'm only going to put a maximum of 4 in here. It's a small fryer, and there's only 12 to cook. Ooh, now they're all fried. Time to plate and enjoy. Let's cut this one open. Oh, doesn't that look good? Look how cheesy. I chose to serve this with bacon jam and a bacon aioli. Both were purchased. I did not make them myself, but they're very good. Now I'm going to try the bacon aioli. Both were very good. I think I have a slight preference for the bacon jam. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. This is the type of content you will find on my channel. If you like cooking videos like this, you should consider subscribing. And ring the bell so you'll always be notified when we post another video. Give this recipe a try. I know you'll enjoy it. Y'all have a blessed day. Well, you may have a lot of guests this year. You may have a New Year's party, and this is a great little appetizer. It's croquettes with Serrano ham and Manchego cheese, and it's something that you can make up a couple of days ahead, and then you fry them on the day of your party or your event. So let's get started on Darlene's table. Going to start with 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. After melting, I'm adding a 1/4 cup of finely chopped onion. Sprinkle with some salt and pepper. We're going to cook this until the onion is nice and soft. We're not going to brown it. Now I'm sprinkling the entire thing with 7 tablespoons of flour. We're going to cook this, mix it well. Add the 3rd tablespoon of butter. Continue to mix. Now using the whisk, I'm adding in the 3/4 cup of whole milk. A little at a time, smoothing it out until it's thickened. Now I'm adding the Serrano ham. I had 6 tablespoons of finely chopped Serrano ham, along with Manchego cheese, grated cheese. So it's 1/3 of a cup plus 1/4 of a cup. The recipe did call for putting it in the breadcrumbs, but I didn't like the way that turned out, so I put it all in this mixture. I've made this many times. I'm going to remove to a plate. So I put these in the refrigerator in little balls and I let them chill overnight. And now I'm making them into these ovals, more the shape of a croquette, right? So I have a bowl of flour, the eggs, a bowl for the eggs, and a bowl for the panko. I'm trying to remember to use one hand for the dry and one hand for the egg. That way it's not quite so messy on you. So once they're all done, I've got them set in wax paper in a container. I'm going to put them back in the refrigerator and I'm going to fry them tomorrow. That's one of the things that makes this little appetizer so easy. So you can make it ahead, put it in the refrigerator, take it out about an hour before you're going to fry them, and then fry them. It's all done. So here we are. I've left them out of the next day. I left them out of the refrigerator for about an hour, and I'm going to fry them at between 325 and 350. I made these for a wedding rehearsal dinner, a lot more than this, and they were a real hit. Don't those look nice? And they're absolutely delicious. Croquettes with Serrano ham and Manchego cheese. These little appetizers were a big hit when I served them at a wedding party a few years ago. So easy to make, which is a plus when you need to make a lot of them for an event, party, or whatever. The combination of savory cheese inside with Serrano ham and with a crunch on the outside is a fantastic combination. They are best dipped in your favorite dipping sauce, which can be ranch mustard or honey mustard. Or you can get fancy like we did and try something like champagne garlic honey mustard. Or Asian sweet chili sauce. Whatever you use to dip these in, you will love them. As always, you can find a printable recipe on my website, darlenestable.com, along with all of my other recipes that are here on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope that each and every one of you have a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. All right, today I'm going to make Cajun shrimp corn chowder. It's just delicious. So let's get started on Darlene's Table. I'm going to start by cooking this 8 slices of bacon that I've chopped, and I'm going to cook it until crisp. And this is a 7-quart stock pot. In the meantime, I'm going to add all the Cajun seasoning to the shrimp and toss it. All right, that bacon is ready to remove to my paper-lined plate. We're going to leave the bacon drippings in the pot to saute our vegetables along with some additional butter. So we'll put in 4 tablespoons out of the 6 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to saute the shrimp lightly We do not want to cook them all the way through. Just saute them lightly, make them turn a little pink, see? Remove them to a plate, not paper towel lined. We want to use all those juices later. So now we're going to saute the onion, red bell pepper, celery, and garlic. I'm going to put in the 2 remaining tablespoons of butter and saute this until the onions begin to soften. All right, now I'm adding half a cup of flour. We're going to stir this, allow the flour to cook. Some salt and pepper. That looks good. We cooked this for a minute or two just to get that flour cooked. And now I'm going to add the diced potatoes and 2 cups of the chicken broth. Now, I added a cup later, so you could go ahead and do it now, or you can wait and see if it needs to be thinned out for you. And then I added 4 cups of half and half. Now I'm going to taste this just for the salt and pepper. And I think it needs more. That's salt and pepper. And cook it until the potatoes are done. Just at a simmer. Don't boil it. Now I'm adding the shrimp and all those juices back into the pot. And the 4 cups of corn. This is fresh corn that I removed from the cob and froze last week. You can use frozen corn. I wouldn't use canned corn. Now we'll taste it again for seasoning. More salt and pepper. All right, we'll let that all come back up to temperature since we added the cold shrimp and the cooled down shrimp and the corn. And then it'll be ready to serve. Look at that. Doesn't that look luscious? Lots of shrimp. That's 2 pounds of peeled shrimp. So it'll take you about 4 pounds of shrimp with heads on to get that. I topped it with the crisp bacon and fresh basil for serving, or you could use green onion or chives. You know the Cajuns know how to cook seafood 100 different ways. Well, here's another. With 2 pounds of shrimp, there's a shrimp in every bite, cooked in a creamy corn chowder with potatoes. I'm telling you, a bowl of this will warm you from the inside out. Seafood and spice are staples in Cajun cuisine, and this recipe blends beautifully into a creamy chowder. Unless you are feeding an army, there should be enough to freeze for another meal later. You will need to add a small amount of half and half when reheating because the milk will separate when frozen. So, you can find this recipe on my website, darlenestable.com, and the link to the printable recipe will be in the video description. As you watch this, I'm probably in my kitchen working on the next project, so come back and see what's cooking on Darlene's Table.